In this tutorial, we're going to cover various ways of producing the model shown. SOLIDWORKS users will develop their own methods and techniques to produce models based around what they are comfortable with. The same model could be produced using different sets of features and sketches. When producing solid models, there are wrong ways, right ways, and more efficient ways of achieving the same result. For the inexperienced user, a correct final model is what is important. You should then go back and analyse what you could have done to improve your modelling technique. It is good practice to keep the sketch geometry simple and not to include too much detail on a single sketch. However, there is a balance between oversimplifying sketches to the point where a large amount of model features are required and the minimum number of features developed from easy to understand sketches. Let's have a go at making this model. The model could be produced by extruding a series of rectangles. However, it will be easier to produce a sketch of the blue shaded cross section and then extruding. Switching to a new model, select Extruded Boss Base from the Features menu and open a sketch on the front plane. From the Sketch toolbar, select the Line command. Roughly sketch the feature cross section. Remember, dimensions are added after sketching, so accuracy is not important. Starting off with a line endpoint coincident with the origin, the yellow tooltip will indicate when the lines are horizontal or vertical. Phantom lines will occasionally appear to indicate some sort of relationship with other sketch geometry. In this case, the phantom line indicates the cursor is vertical to the origin. Dimension the sketch using the Smart Dimension tool with the datum set at the origin. At any time, a zoom all or fit to screen can be performed by typing an F. With the geometry fully defined, we can exit the sketch. In the Boss Extrude Manager, set the depth to 60 mm and choose OK. We now need to think about producing the triangular shaped extrusion. There could be a problem here because we do not have a plane available on which to place the sketch geometry. In this case, we can add a plane by going to Reference Geometry and selecting Plane. The Plane Manager opens on the left hand side of the screen and the Feature Manager moves into the graphics area. In the first reference box, choose the front plane. and set the offset distance to 30 millimeters, which is half the thickness of Boss Extrude 1. This will create a new plane in the middle of our model on which we can draw the sketch geometry. Select OK. You can see plane 1 has been added to the Feature Manager design tree. Select Extruded Boss Base and open the sketch on plane 1. Switch to a front view, and the triangle can now be drawn by picking the endpoints of the existing model geometry. As these endpoints have previously been defined, there are no dimensions to add to the sketch. Another method of drawing the triangle involves using the Convert Entities tool. Convert Entities allows model geometry or contours from existing sketches to be projected or copied onto the sketch plane of the current sketch. Let's delete the triangle and select Convert Entities from the sketch toolbar. Select the vertical and horizontal edges as shown and select OK. The edges are converted to lines within this sketch, and the diagonal can then be drawn between the line endpoints. Again, no dimensioning is required. Switch back to an isometric view and exit the sketch. In the Boss Extrude Manager, set the depth to 10 millimeters and in End Condition, choose the Midplane option. This extrudes the feature an equal amount around the sketch plane. Select OK. We could have used the midplane option when producing Boss Extrude 1, making the need for an additional sketch plane redundant. Let's go back and alter Boss Extrude 1. Right click and select Edit Feature. In End Condition, change the option to midplane and select OK. This gives quite a curious result because plane 1 is no longer in the middle of Boss Extrude 1. The problem can be solved by moving sketch 2 onto the front plane. Expand Boss Extrude 2 and right click Sketch 2 and select Edit Sketch Plane. Change plane 1 for the front plane and select OK. If required, plane 1 can now be deleted. Another method of producing the triangular extrusion involves using the rib command. Extruded boss base and extruded cut only work when the geometry is closed, such as a circle or square. Rib is a special type of extruded feature which can be created from open sketched contours. It adds material of a specific thickness in a specified direction between the contour and an existing part. Let's delete Boss Extrude 2 Deleting the feature does not automatically delete the sketch, so we can reuse Sketch 2 to create the rib. Right-click Sketch 2 and select Edit Sketch. For the rib function to work, the diagonal line is the only piece of geometry required, so the horizontal and vertical lines can be deleted. Exit the sketch and select the rib command. We're going to create the rib from an existing sketch, so expand the feature manager and select Sketch 2. In the rib manager, select the both sides option and set the rib thickness to 10 mm. Switch to a front view to check the extrusion direction. With the arrow pointing in this direction, the rib will try to extrude to infinity. Check the flip material side so the arrow points towards the existing model faces. Switch back to an isometric view and select OK. In this tutorial, we have seen how the same model can be created using different techniques. You may have your own ideas on how to create the model. The important thing to remember is to get the model right and then identify what you could have done differently in order to improve your modelling or sketch technique. Please watch the tutorial again if there is anything you did not fully understand.